What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. So we are back here with another new look rebuild. Yesterday we did a super easy team, that being the Oklahoma City Thunder. I got my confidence back up, we got some championships, but now we're going to a little bit of a tougher team, that being the Atlanta Hawks. I'll get into the reasons why the Atlanta Hawks are probably a tougher team to try to figure out what to do, but let's just go ahead and jump in and do this 5-year new look Atlanta Hawks rebuild. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like in this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. We have like 12 teams left to do of this new look rebuild series, and then 2K25 will be right around the corner, and then we'll figure out what to do then. But until then, we'll figure out some other things to do. So yeah, a lot of content coming your way, so make sure to hit that subscribe button if you are new around here. But let's talk about the Atlanta Hawks, man. The Atlanta Hawks, they traded DeJounte Murray. They traded for him to pair with Trae Young. That experiment did not work out. They get some draft compensation back. I think they get a Lakers pick and a Milwaukee Bucks or New Orleans pick in the future or something like that. Of course, they don't own their future draft picks, so there's no incentive for them to try to be bad. So they find themselves in a little bit of a complicated situation. So Trae Young, clearly the best player here, but outside of that, Jalen Johnson is probably the guy you're looking at. But in 2K, Jalen Johnson doesn't really develop into a superstar or anything like that. So basically, the guy we're building right now is Trae Young, but I feel like there's always the caveat in 2K that sometimes Trae Young just doesn't do that great in the simulation as far as team success. Individual success, he does fantastic, but sometimes I feel like the Hawks just suck simply because of Trae Young. And I only know that because sometimes I'm traded for him, and then the team just starts to suck once they're traded for him. But you know what? We're going to get around that. We're going to find a way to work around that. So here's the team, man. Of course, they drafted Zachary Ricochet #1 overall. Alex Sarr did not want to come to Atlanta. He was like the consistent number one guy. He looked terrible in summer league, so maybe they dodged a bullet. Who knows? We'll see what happens when the actual basketball starts come October. But yeah, so let's just go ahead and get into year one. I mean, this team is probably not going to be very good. If I had to guess, Capella is still an expiring contract. They could trade away technically. So I think we're definitely going to be threading a fine needle where we're going to be like, tanking / we can't really tank because we don't have our draft picks. So there's a lot to figure out here, man. So it's going to be complicated, but we're going to try to do our best to make sure we make the right move. So I think Trae Young probably more than likely here to stay throughout the video if I had to guess, but maybe that changes in the future. I don't know. We got to cut one person, and I guess if there's one player I would cut, personally, it'd be Cody Zeller. Not even sure why Atlanta felt the need to sign him, but whatever. I think he came over in the sign and trade, when DeJounte Murray was traded away. But yeah, here's your starting five going into it. So it's going to be Trae Young, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Zachary Ricochet, Jalen Johnson, Okongwu, Capella, DeAndre Hunter, Dyson Daniels, David Roddy, and then Larry Nance Jr. So that is your rotation. So we'll see how it goes. I'm expecting this team to be pretty poverty, not going to lie. But I could be wrong. Maybe this team surprises me. We shall see. But like I said, there's no incentive for us to be bad. I don't believe we own our draft pick. So 2025, we don't have it. 2026, we don't have it. It's a swap with the Spurs. And we don't have our pick in 2027. So for 3 years, there's no incentive for us to suck. There just isn't. So we got a complicated thing to figure out, but we're going to make sure to make it happen. I think it is very necessary to stop the deadline in this one because Capella's an expiring contract. I definitely think there'll be teams that would line up for his services. So we'll probably stop to trade him there. Maybe some other pieces as well. But let's go ahead and see how this Atlanta Hawks team does without me touching anything. Maybe they surprise me. We'll see what happens. Today's video is brought to you by 2 softwares that are designed to help you beat the sports books and become a much profitable sports bettor. And we're starting off in the Daily Grind Fantasies Optimizer. So if you're playing on apps such as Prize Picks, Underdog, which are very popular nowadays, as we know, this is the tool to absolutely have on Daily Grind Fantasy. So they have a fantasy optimizer, and they also have an AI slip generator that builds out slips for you. And as you can see, this thing is loaded right now. Holy moly, look at this. So basically, if you just don't want to build out your own slips, you can simply just go ahead and copy a slip, and it will literally build it for you. Now, some of the projections got removed or whatever, but yeah, really cool stuff there. Really cool. But damn, there's a lot of value late at night here. Holy moly. Even got some better slips in here. That is fantastic. But let's go back to the optimizer. So basically, what this does, it compares discrepancies across multiple sports books. And as you can see, Davis Martin under 4.5 strikeouts is being heavily favored for him to go under Pinnacle, one of the sharpest books in the world, at -171. And we found this within 2 seconds, man. This is why this tool is so clutch to have if you're betting on sports. Same thing with Michael King, over 5.5 strikeouts. Thankfully, I actually got both these plays in on Fanatics. Yeah, both on Fanatics, which is fantastic. I'm a little limited on there. But yeah, both plays heavily favored, which is why we absolutely love that. So Daily Grind Fantasy pointed those 2 plays out to us within 2 seconds. We found those. We didn't have to do any research on it whatsoever. We go over to OddsJam's positive EV tool, and as you can see, Davis Martin under 4.5 strikeouts. I got this at plus odds. I guarantee this is moved. No, it actually hasn't. I'm shocked. But as you can see, clear discrepancy. Plus 100. I put this in already, by the way. Plus 100. You got every other single book just absolutely ripping him to go under. Minus 171, minus 145, minus 160. Just getting absolutely ripped to go under. And we got this at plus money. I would not have been able to do this without OddsJam's positive EV tool. Same thing on Tariq Skubal. This has also changed. I got it at plus 120 and it's moved to plus 105. So basically, you're just line shopping, line comparing, and you find the best value. I have sniped some value here late at night. But if you want to go ahead and check out either tool, links are down in the description below. Use code Crushables, 25% off your first month on Daily Grind Fantasy and 50% off on OddsJam. So make sure you check it out. Other than that, let's get back to the video. So as expected, we are 20-32 on the season. The team is not very good. Kind of figured that would be the case. We are starting the deadline because we are going to make some sell pieces here. So Capella being an expiring contract, I don't think it makes any sense to keep him past this deadline. So even if we're getting a 2029 first round pick from Milwaukee, which I don't even believe they own, I think that's going to the Blazers if I'm not mistaken. I always forget what pick the Blazers actually have, but I believe it's 2029. Magic want to give us KCP. I don't want this big contract. Hardstein. So far I don't like anything other than what the Bucks offered. So yeah, like I said, technically I don't even think they have a first round pick to trade. I would just take this one, I guess. Just getting a first round pick for Capella sounds fine. And then maybe we decide, oh, I don't want to trade a pick though. Why can't we just take the 2026 first off your hands, man? What about this one? 2028. They're not interested. We just got to give up a second. Sure. I just get a first round pick for Capella. Just want to get rid of him for a first at least. Probably a better first would have been, you know, better to have, but whatever. So Brook will start for the rest of the year. We'll let him go in free agency, and that's that. Is there anybody else we want to trade? Maybe we could trade Larry Nance for a couple seconds. Not that that is like super important to get in this game, but we'll look just in case. Sometimes I can get some really good value with a second round pick, but probably not going to worry about it. I mean, Karen Schwimm's in a second, so the Thunder want another 5-man. I don't know. Kyle Anderson from the Warriors. But Larry Nance is expiring, so we don't want to do that. So we trade Capella, which is nice. What else do we want to do? Do we want to do anything else? Do we want to trade like Bogdan maybe? What is he doing on the season? So he's averaging 12 points. I mean, if someone wants to trade for him and give me a first, I'm more than happy to do this. And I'll also look for DeAndre Hunter. But I'm only doing this if I got a first round pick offered to me. If not, I might as well just keep the guy. So let's see. Nothing so far. First, second round pick, not really what I'm wanting. For Bogdan, no, nothing. Okay, then we'll go to DeAndre Hunter. So let's see what maybe DeAndre Hunter would get me, especially if I move him to small forward. Again, would want 2 first-round picks for his services, maybe even 2 first-round picks. I would at least want 1, but maybe even 2. The Levine, getting Levine is interesting, I'm not going to lie, because it would technically give Trae Young another star to pair with. But do we want to do this is the question. Do we really want Zach LaVine in Atlanta? Is that going to fix anything? We have a Trae Young, Levine backcourt. We're not giving up, or Levine, Trae Young backcourt. We're not giving up anything much of value. We're getting up a 3-and-D player, but DeAndre Hunter, I mean, he's doing pretty good right now. Levine and Trae Young, does that move me? I don't know. I might do it. I might get weird today. I mean, we have, like I said, we have no incentive to be bad, so maybe we get a little weird. Let's see what else we got. Hardstein in a first, no. You know what? Screw it, man. We need to be good. Levine's got 2 years left in his contract. I mean, I think there's a player option as well. I might regret this later on, but just for the weirdness that the Atlanta Hawks find themselves in, let's get Zach LaVine and let's see if that's going to do anything for us. DeAndre Hunter and Larry Nance. I mean, like I said, we have no incentive to be bad at all. So Chicago, we get LaVine. DeAndre Hunter and Larry Nance go to Chicago. Yeah, I'm going to do this. It's weird, but I kind of like it. I dig it. So we're going to go ahead and make that trade happen. Just like that, LaVine becomes our new starting shooting guard next to Trae Young. Defensively, we're absolutely cooked, but at the end of the day, we wanted to improve a little bit, and hopefully LaVine does that for us. So we'll see. I'm going to simulate the rest of the season with LaVine on the team with Trae Young. That's the backcourt we got. We just got to make sure we build this defense up around them in the best way possible. But yeah, even getting LaVine, I don't know if that's going to really save our season, but hopefully in the next year, things will be a little bit better. But we'll see. Maybe I regret trading for LaVine. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter that much. But we'll see what happens. So year number 1 doesn't go so well. We kind of figured that'd be the case. So let's just go ahead and just skip right through these playoffs and let's get to work in the offseason. So you got Indiana and Brooklyn and, or sorry, why did I say Brooklyn? I meant Milwaukee and Indiana. But Milwaukee made it all the way to the finals, but they lose to the Thunder in 4 games, unfortunately for them. So that sucks. But LeBron James is going to retire. Brook Lopez is also going to call it a career. But let's go to the lottery. So, lottery pick, of course, is going to San Antonio, which sucks for us. It's a top 4 pick, and it ends up being number 2. That is just such a terrible feeling in this draft class. You know how badly having that pick right now would help us out a ton, and we just don't have it. We do get 18 via LA in this draft class, which could help, but not having our own pick in this draft really, really sucks. I'm not even going to lie to you, man. Especially for this rebuild and having a 2025 pick at number 2. Getting Ace Bailey or Cooper Flag, man. San Antonio is about to be stacked while we're here in poverty, bro. Come on. All right, well, we got to work around it, man. We knew this would be a challenge today, and it is a challenge I have accepted. So let's just fill out this coaching staff, and we're going to get those 3 guys to sign up, which is nice. We just need a couple other guys to fill this out. Let's grab Mr. Boyd Dean and grab a guard guru. So let's see if we got anything. We got Bernard Stevens, who usually is pretty good, and he's always sitting here. So we got him. All right, welcome. Let's go to draft night. Even though we don't have a top pick, we still have a, we still have a pick in this stacked draft class. We have 18 and 25, so we fully need to take advantage of these 2 picks. We have Levine, we have Jalen Johnson, so that's all fantastic. I guess I could show you the end of the season stats. Forgot to do that. I was just skipping through things because we sucked, man. So 31 from Trae Young, 23 from Levine, 13 from Ricochet, 11 for Bogdan, 10 from Okongwu, and 10 from Jalen Johnson. So all around, pretty solid. But let's get into draft night and see who we can get. Cooper Flag's going to Charlotte. Ace Bailey's going to San Antonio. Nolan Choyori. So Wizards get Dylan Harper. So far, draft's going interesting. But we'll see if we can get anybody really good to fall to us at 18. I mean, this is a stacked draft class, like I said. So I imagine we should maybe get a little something. So, all right. Let's see what we got. So we got Jalil Bethea, Noah, Colin Murray, Dink, or Damian Starr. I think we take Dink here. So we're going to take Dink, bring him to Atlanta, and then we can take Noah, which I also love the idea of. So we're going to go ahead and do that. His ceiling is not available, though. Is interesting. But I think I feel pretty good about getting those 2 guys in this draft. I mean, if nothing else, they're going to be really good bench players for us. So Dink and Noah, welcome to Atlanta. We also got Florin in round 2, so good job by the assistant GM sniping that. David Roddy. Oh, I forgot Dyson Daniels might, develop like crazy for us, which is maybe a good feeling. The Jalen Johnson is heading into free agency. More than likely, we're going to re-sign him. So yeah, let's just go ahead and take care of that. So we're going to re-sign Jalen Johnson. I can't imagine Atlanta letting this guy go. Going to bring him back. Kind of a little bit of a breakout last year. Did struggle with some injuries here and there. But I don't know what else we're going to do. So we got Trae Young, Dyson Daniels. So I think Dyson Daniels is going to slide to the 2, and he progresses usually pretty well in 2K, so it would not surprise me by any means, and maybe we could put him all the way to small forward, and maybe he starts next year for us. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So we might need his defense in there. But yeah, we got a logjam at the small forward spot, so Roddy is really not important. Krejci, so a lot of these guys aren't going to really eventually crack the rotation, but Ricochet, of course, is important. We have Jalen Johnson, Okongwu, so we probably need a legitimate backup 5. We're probably going into next season with the rotation kind of like this. I mean, the team, it still kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Like I said, we're locked in kind of the roster we have. So what center could we get? Maybe we trade somebody. Like, is there anybody? Like, Bogdan would be the one guy I would want to trade right now. So let's see if we can trade Bogdan for a backup 5 or a first-round pick. Anything of value to trade Bogdan out of here. So we can get Chicago. We can get Jalen Smith back to Atlanta. Didn't he play? No, he didn't. Never mind. What am I talking about? So Jalen Smith would be interesting. Not really the center I was looking for, but I don't know. Average 8 rebounds last year. It's not too shabby. Drews. Maybe we go for just make another trade with Mitch Robinson or first. I'm not looking to trade first-round picks at this moment. So I think I am just going to go ahead and settle on that trade with Chicago. So we trade a second-round pick. They get Bogdan. Jalen Smith's our backup 5. So yeah, that frees up minutes for Dink. And that's probably what we wanted to accomplish there. So we're going to go to player progression, and we're going to see how much this roster develops. So we'll see what happens going to year 2. But we do have, let's see. So Dyson Daniels is only up to 79. So I thought he'd move up even more, but he didn't. Kobe Buffkin's ready to play, which is nice. Roddy is also up. Ricochet is up. Jalen Johnson is up. And Levine is down. So that's kind of unfortunate. But next year, he will have an expiring player option. So maybe we could turn that Levine contract into a different star. It'll be worth like 40 million or 50 million. So if we attach some assets to it, maybe we can get an actual second star. So, I kind of feel like we have a plan running through. So, all right, we're about to go into year 2. I'm assuming we're not going to be very good again, but we'll see what happens, I guess. So we're going to go into year 2. I think we'll play this whole roster out for another year. And then when Levine probably accepts this player option. I mean, if he declines it, we should have some cap space open up, I assume. But if he accepts it, we're absolutely going to trade him out. Like, definitely, you know, use his expiring contract to get somebody else in the building. So, really can't lose here. I mean, we could lose a season, but, you know, for the future, I kind of have a plan, which I like. All right, so we do got to cut another guy. It's going to be Julian Phillips. We're going to cut him. So, we just have so many small forwards, it's not even funny. So, Parker's going to let us 29th overall. It is a 4-star proficiency, so it looks pretty solid. So, we got Trae Young, Levine, Ricochet, Jalen Johnson, Okongwu. So, that starting 5 is fine. Jalen Smith, Dyson Daniels, David Roddy, Kobe Buffkin, and then Noah, and then Dink. So, low-key, honestly, just because we're about to be so bad, I kind of feel like it'd be best to send just Noah and Dink to the G League this year and just let these guys be absolute beasts for us next year. I think that's probably the best way to go about things. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to send those to the G League, even though, of course, maybe they, you know, maybe that's not what they'd actually do. But if they come back from the G League better than ever and we're in a good spot, or maybe we play one of them. So maybe we play Noah and put, Dink, or we put Lauren in the G League. Nah, I'm going to do the 2 first. We're going to do the 2 first-round picks. Both of them going to the G League this year. We're going to see what happens. Let's simulate this season, and let's see how year number 2 goes. Probably no stopping the deadline this year. I just want to simply run this roster, and going to just deal with the what happens. And it looks like we're not going to be very good this year, like I thought. So year number 2 actually goes decently well. We are not giving the Spurs another really high top 5 pick, unless if our pick jumps up, of course. But we ended up being a play-in team this year. Trae Young makes an All-NBA second team. He has a team option next year. 30 and 11 from Trae Young, so absolutely terrific stuff from him. Here's your All-NBA third team, All-Defensive first team, and All-Defensive second team. So, not a lot to be mad at. I'm actually really excited with how the season went. So, if we take a look at the player stats, yeah, 30 from Trae Young, 20.5 from Zach LaVine, Zachary Ricochet. I just saw someone made an All-Defensive team for us, by the way. Who was that? So, that was actually Zachary Ricochet. That's pretty cool to see. So, Ricochet makes an All-Defensive team, averaging 16 points. So that's fantastic. Jalen Smith, low-key, is kind of a dog in 2K. 12.5 and 9 rebounds, or 13, I should say. And also shot 35% from 3 on 9 attempts as a center. Okay. Maybe I should trade for Jalen Smith more often. Pretty solid stat line out of that guy. Being a playing team is nice because, like I said, we're not giving a pick to the Spurs, and we do win, and we're in the playoffs. Okay. Not bad. We turn this thing around a little bit. 4.5 proficiency with this roster is kind of crazy, not going to lie. But I guess Levine and Trae Young backcourt seems to be working. Now, probably doesn't mean we're about to go win a championship or anything, but I mean, feels good to have actually made it into the playoffs. So we get Toronto in round 1, and we are going to push them to 7. So we are not going to go home without a nice little fight here. So if we end up beating Toronto, that would be pretty awesome. So let's see if we can do that. And it's going to be a close game 7, but we've had the lead a few times in this game. Now, can we keep it, especially in this 4th quarter? Be close, and we do beat them. So we are going to win a playoff series with a Trae Young and Levine backcourt, which is just kind of mind-boggling. But playoff stats, as you can see, Trae Young and Levine are doing their thing, 33 and 21. Now, I like Levine, but he's only 83. And like I said, I'm hoping he accepts that player option. If he doesn't, like I said, we boot him, let him go. But now we get Cleveland. I doubt we beat the Cavs, but you never know. And we're down 3-2. I mean, if we force a game 7, things become fairly interesting, but I just don't picture this going our way. But let's see. Maybe I'm surprised. Atlanta sometimes does a crazy thing in the sim, so you never know. And it is going to be close. We're going to maybe force a game 7, but we got to... No, we're not going to. So, hey, the fact that we made it to second round and pushed them to 6 with this team, I feel pretty solid about that. So, Pacers and Jazz, and it is going to be the Pacers going to win the championship. Okay. Here are your retirements. Clay and Steph retiring the same year. Pretty interesting. Of course, not on the same team, unfortunately. But now, the main thing is we are not giving the Spurs a high draft pick this year, which feels good. So our pick at 17, and then it was a pick swap, so that feels good. So Spurs will have, I believe, so 17 and 20. So do we get 7? Maybe we had our pick, or maybe the Spurs just, I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter that much. Only 3 picks apart. So staff signing, I think we got to keep Quinn Snyder around. I mean, season went fantastic with him, so we're gonna go ahead and keep him. And now we just got to get a good assistant. That will not be Doc Rivers, but we can grab maybe Jonathan Watson. Maybe he'll sign. Thinking about it. And he is going to sign. So welcome to the team. And now we can go to draft night. So we have a 15th overall pick. We, did pretty good in last year's draft class. And we get to add them to the rotation this year, which feels fantastic. So now, the fact that we get Bryson here at this late, I think we've done incredible the last 2 drafts with these mid picks, but I'll take it. So Trae Young, we're going to accept, and Levine accepts player option as planned, which is fantastic. So Levine accepts that player option. As much as I'm very happy with how the season went last year, I am going to trade him. I think it's probably in our best interest to do that. Dexter Jones wants $22 million. I'm probably going to bring him back. I think we kind of need him. Only 6 points last year. He did come off the bench, though, to be fair to him. But, like I said, Levine, thank you for your services. But, I mean, $48 million. Oh, Trae Young and Levine are making literally the same amount, which is kind of crazy. But we got to trade Levine. We got to trade him. He's going to keep regressing, and we got to use that salary while we can. So $49 million should be able to get us somebody pretty good. Let's go find out who should be that second star next to Trae Young. I don't know where we'll play them just yet, but at this point, any position, you know, other than point guard is absolutely available for us to go get. So I 100% want to trade Levine this offseason, but if I took a look at all the options that we have at our disposal, there's only really 3 guys. Now, another interesting one would be going to go get Jaylen Brown because he's from Atlanta, but they're contending, so that's not going to happen. That would have been awesome if he was available somehow. But we have Jimmy Butler on the Miami Heat, which is interesting. The problem, of course, is he's 36 years old. He might be good for like a couple seasons, but after that, it will be kind of a bad trade. So, I mean, as long as we're not giving up too much, I guess, but I don't feel like getting Jimmy Butler is the easiest thing to do. And he also has a no trade clause, so who knows if you'd even waive it to come to Atlanta. So, probably can't go that direction. So, we're going to go to a team that Atlanta's familiar with because they just traded with them. And that is going to be the New Orleans Pelicans. So, we are going to see if we can go get Brandon Ingram or Zion Williamson. I think that's the best way to go about things. I know Atlanta could have probably gotten Brandon Ingram from the Pelicans, but they didn't, of course, in the DeJounte Murray trade, and they didn't want him. But at this point, I kind of want him. I think we need a second guy, and Brandon Ingram will be pretty solid in 2K. Now, Detroit has like a Sar or Cade, which would be fun, but I don't really want to focus on the backcourt too much. Ahmed Thompson or Jalen Green would be fun as well. D-Book is out there, but like I said, I think if we get Brandon Ingram, who plays that small forward spot, it'll make the rotation a little bit interesting. I mean, even if we play Brandon Ingram at the 2 guard, I wouldn't hate that either. But unless we get Zion, which is also possible here as well. So 21 points per game. I think getting Zion would probably be the better fun play. But, and he also is, you know, making, it's not similar money, but I guess we'll see, because Zion would be the guy to go for. I did get him in the Grizzlies video, but of course he left. I would make sure that mistake doesn't happen again, but a Trae Young, Zion Williamson duo sounds like a ton of fun. Ingram is fun as well, but since Atlanta didn't even want Ingram, I'm going to try for Zion first. So, we're trading Levine's salary to do this. It's an expiring contract. Of course, it's not going to be Zach LaVine for Zion straight up. That just isn't going to happen. So, I have their pick, so we can give them their pick back, which makes things interesting. We got that pick from that Capella trade, so we can do that. I'll trade a 2029 first as well. And then we got to throw some young players in here. So, whether that's Kobe Buffkin or Noah, Dink, or Bryson we just got, I mean, we got to trade one of them. So, I guess since we got Bryson, I'm going to trade Noah in this trade, maybe. So, Levine, and then 3 first-round picks in Noah, and then for Zion. Do they accept this? No, they do not. Okay. I will throw another. I mean, this would be going all in on this team, but okay, so they say no to that. What if I give you... what if I threw Florin in here? No, that doesn't make a difference, and plus they can't take on any more salary. So maybe Noah doesn't get it done. Maybe it's Bryson instead. Does Bryson make a difference? No, he's still making too much money. So what is Noah making? So Noah's making 304. So okay, that's not gonna work. All right. So we're gonna throw Noah back in it, and maybe we can't do a trade with the Pelicans for Zion. So Zion does not look like he's gonna be available to us, unfortunately. So we gotta probably go for Ingram instead. I would have wanted Zion, but hey, we'll take what we can get. So we're gonna go for Ingram instead. So let's see. I don't even know if they'll be able to do this because apparently they don't have money like that. So Ingram. So yeah, they don't even have the money to do this. So we're gonna have to take on another salary from them. But do they have that? No, they don't. Herb Jones, I guess. But I mean, they really gonna give us Herb Jones with Brandon Ingram? That sounds kind of insane. I mean, maybe if we give them enough. I mean, maybe we throw them Noah for her. I mean, getting Herb Jones on top of Brandon Ingram would be fantastic. But I don't know. So 3 first-round picks for Ingram and Herb Jones with Levine and Noah. All right. Well, I'll take it. So we get Brandon Ingram and Herb Jones in the same trade. Fantastic. Love that for us. So, like I said, no reason for us to suck. And we have absolutely improved our roster. So we get Ingram. So maybe getting Ingram along with Herb Jones isn't so bad. So Why did the Pelicans do this? I have no idea. Why would they trade Herb Jones with Ingram? The more I think about it, the more it doesn't make any sense for them. But I guess they got a really good package in return. So maybe they're just fine with doing it. I don't know. Whatever. But it looks like we kind of have our full rotation set, which is fantastic. And at this point, you know, oh, I forgot. Do we have free agents to worry about? Oh, yeah, Dyson Daniels. Almost forgot about him. So we're going to bring back Dyson Daniels as well. I don't know where I'm going to play him just yet, but we're going to figure it out. So, you know, sign him. Worry about it later. So we're going to sign Dyson Daniels to a deal. David Roddy, I'm definitely not bringing back. So I'm going to renounce these. Nikola, if he comes back as qualifying offer, is great as well. They got him in the draft. So, all right. So Ingram and Herb Jones coming to Atlanta. Makes things interesting. We're about to go into year 3. I think we improve our roster a little bit. And I like it. So player progression, Nikola's back. So now we have Dyson is up to an 82. Dink is up. You got Kobe Buffkin up. Jalen Smith is up. So all this is looking good. Herb Jones, 83. Zachary Shea is up. All that's fantastic. We got Brandon Ingram to be the second star next to Trae Young. I like it, man. I like it. We'll see if it ends up working out. We got to round 2 last year. But ultimately, we wanted to improve the team around Trae Young, and we have absolutely done that. Now, we've gone all in pretty much at this. We trade even more draft assets to try to make this work. So, we'll see, man. We'll see if it pays off. It may not pay off. Maybe that was this will end up being a terrible move. But this is the kind of risk we need to take with this Atlanta roster. So I'm not even too mad about it. So let's see what the rotation is going to look like. So Parring's not going to be very high on us. Only 26th overall. So maybe we should have kept Levine. I don't know. But here's rotation. So it's Trae Young, Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones. I like that a lot. Jalen Johnson. So that moves Ricochet back to the bench, which I feel a little bit bad about, but the bench does become really stacked, which is nice. So Buffkin, I think we get in the rotation, so we're going to run a 10-man rotation, and then Dink is not going to get in there, which is a little disappointing, but it's just kind of how the rotation is set right now. So Dyson Daniels and then Dink, it's Bryson who's not getting minutes, which is fine. He just got drafted, so we can send him to the G League this year, send Florin to the G League as well. And we'll see how it goes. So this will be interesting to see if this pays off how I think it will. Trae Young and Ingram shot tendency is exactly where I want it to be. And Ricochet's is 73. So all that's looking good. It's in year number 3. And we shall see if all the moves we've made are going to give ourselves a booster on our roster. We're going to start off 500. So maybe that's a decent sign. But we'll see how the rest of year 3 goes. So there's been rumors that the Jazz are going to, it came from Shams, so it's not really rumors, probably more than likely going to happen, but apparently Mark is going to sign an extension that's going to make him ineligible to be traded, and they also grabbed Luka to pair with him. That'd be pretty cool, not going to lie, but this season went pretty good. I can't be too mad about how the season went. Trae Young makes it all-NBA second team, fantastic. All-defensive team, probably not going to see Ricochet because, of course, he moved to the bench, unfortunately, but Dink makes an all-rookie first team, which is great, and here was your all-rookie second team. We end up as a play-in team as the 8th seed, so that's disappointing. Actually, I was kind of looking at my computer, but when I looked away, we were still a playoff team, so I actually didn't expect this to be a play-in team, but oh well, it is what it is, so what can you do? So, Dink is now starting, which is interesting, but we're going to go ahead and move this to a 9-man rotation for these playoffs, and let's see if we can beat Orlando to get in. And we don't. We lose. Okay, so now we got to win this one. So we get Brooklyn. So Indiana is our first matchup. Now, if we could beat the Brooklyn Nets, I feel like we can low-key well, wait a minute. Maybe not. We got to beat the Nets first before I finish my statement. And we might not even do that. And we're not going to. Wow, okay. All right, well, this season didn't go too well. Not good. So I thought we were in a good spot. Unfortunately, that's not the case. I was going to say that I feel like if we beat the Nets, we might be able to upset the Pacers, but we're never going to find that out. Timberwolves go on to win it all. They beat the Pistons in 7. All right, so Paul George, Alec Burks, Jimmy Butler, all retiring. Mason Plumlee, Harrison Barnes, Plumlee, Jordan Clarkson, all retiring. So let's go straight to the lottery, and let's figure out what to do next, man, because clearly what we did didn't help us out. We end up regressing since last year. Do we fire Quinn Snyder from it? I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, he's a really good ratings across the board. So I don't think we're going to go that direction. So I think we're simply going to just try to improve from more trades. We got to resign Trae Young, of course. We can't let that man go. Herb Jones is about to be a free agent as well. So let's go straight to player options. We don't have a pick at all in this draft. So Ricochet and Dink, we're going to accept. Qualifying offers, Kobe Buffkin, Florin, Nikola. So a lot of big free agents to re-sign. So let's go ahead and start with Trae Young, of course, who does have an offer from the Blazers, but it's not really that good of an offer. Jalen Smith is also a free agent, but I think I more than likely will not give him $18 million. That's kind of a crazy amount to give him. So I'm going to resign Trey Young. So let's just get that out of the way. Herb Jones wants a crazy amount as well. And he's kind of terrible in 2K, you know, scoring wise. But he's a really good defender. But part of me thinks, like, maybe we can move Dyson Daniels into that role. That gives Ricochet more minutes, or move Ingram there. I don't know. I feel like I should probably use that money elsewhere, I feel like. So maybe we don't go that direction. Maybe we can go give, like, I don't know. So we're going to sign Trey Young. Let's get that out of the way. So Trey Young is absolutely going to be re-signed. So that's a done deal. Herb Jones, unfortunately, just asking for $28 million. I just can't get behind that. I think we're going to go a different direction there. Unless if I can get him back towards the end, maybe I still will resign him. But centers. So Jalen Smith wants to sign back, but I just simply don't want to do that. So what? You know, Robert Williams. Okay, so we don't actually have money to give a center or anything. So maybe we should just resign Jalen Smith. And I mean, if we resign things and run it back, though, can we really expect different results? I don't know. That's a good question. So we bring back Trey Young, which is great. Needed that. Ricochet, Daniels. So we're probably going to move Daniels to shooting guard, I guess. So Daniels is going to go to shooting guard. So he's going to regress, but we're going to move him to shooting guard for that role. So if I can do that correctly. So shooting guard and small forward secondary position. Okay. I think we got to simply re-sign everybody. I mean, I don't really think we have another choice, because if we let guys go, then we're just letting talent walk. So I think we're going to re-sign Herb Jones, figure out just, you know, like I said, re-sign guys, figure it out later. I think we got to do that. So we're going to do Jalen Smith being brought back, even though I wasn't going to do it, but I am, I guess. So Jalen Smith, and then Herb Jones will eventually accept his, which is fantastic. Buffkin, we're going to give an offer to as well to be our backup point guard going forward. So, all right. So we pretty much just re-signed everybody. We're going to see what we can do after that. I also want to see what per progression looks like, kind of establish things more for us. So progression, Nikola, Florina back. All right. So no one's progressing that much. I mean, Bryson and Dink are down here developing, which is nice. And if we move Bryson, he's even going to go up even more. So I think we got to move Bryson to an 81 small forward. So we're going to do that. So Bryson's going to play a huge role, because I know he can develop really nicely. Now, I mean, I guess we might have to play him power forward, though, technically, with Brandon Ingram starting. Oh, it gets complicated. Or maybe we move Ricochet down there. I don't know. A lot of things to figure out. But Okongwu's our starting 5 right now. Daniels is starting shooting guard with Herb Jones and Dink. I think we got to move one of them power forward. I think we got to do that. So we're going to run it back, and I think we're going to establish what to do at the deadline, because I can't figure out what the best direction is to go in. We're about to go into year 4, so we got to really make sure we're about to make correct decisions, because we only got 2 years of this video, or yeah, of this rebuild left. So what are we going to do? That's all we got. We got to figure that out. So we're going to figure that out in due time. But let's get into the season and let's stop yapping. So we're back to a 4.5 proficiency. So maybe that should help out a ton with Daniels starting, I guess. So it's going to be Trey Young, Daniels for defense, Brandon Ingram, Jalen Johnson, Okongwu, Herb Jones, Ricochet, Jalen Smith, Bryson, and then Dink if we give him minutes, which we will. Okay. We'll run this. We're going to figure out what we should do at the deadline. Maybe the team does better this year. We'll see. But let's just go ahead and simulate year 4 for now and figure out what to do at the deadline, as we start off pretty rough, but it looks like we're going to match our losing streak with the winning streak, which is good. So let's just continue that winning streak, hopefully. So I decided not to do anything at the trade deadline, because this season went absolutely incredible. And this time I actually looked at the screen and saw the season was going well, because I said the season was going well last year and it absolutely wasn't. So Trey Young wins MVP. Marcus Johnson, Rookie of the Year. Nikola, Sixth Man, Wimby Defensive Player. Hugo Most Improved, Don Mitchell Clutch Player, and Quinn Snyder wins Coach of the Year. So yeah, 64-18 on the season is no joke, which is why, of course, I decided to stick to what we had going, because the season went extremely well. 50, 40, 90 from Trey Young, but all that matters is trying to go on a deep playoff run and win a championship. So we'll see if we end up doing that. We get the first seed in the Eastern Conference. If you take a look at the player stats, you had 27 from Trey Young, 22 from Ingram, 13-8 from Okongwu, 11, 10, 10, and 10. So we'll see what happens. We're about to jump into the playoffs. We get to, figure out if we're going to end up going on a deep run. So we get the Wizards in round 1. We get to play Alex Sarr, who didn't want to play for us. So maybe we can show him that he's going to regret that. But I will admit, they have a damn good team as an AFC. They got Dylan Harper, Belil, Zeke Bay, Kuzma, Sarr, Operation Goons coming off their bench for some reason. So, this is a damn good team. Even Tristan Vukovic has developed fantastically well for them. So, I don't know, man. Not going to lie. A little nervous for this AFC matchup, but let's see if we can beat them. So, there's nothing to be nervous about. We beat them in 5. Okay, that was a damn good team, but we beat them very easily. But now we get Charlotte, who did get Cooper Flag earlier, so Now they have themselves Brandon Miller, LaMelo, and Cooper Flag as a big three with Bridges, Mark Williams. Like, this is a damn good team. Even Tyus Jones off their bench. Yeah, we could be cooked here. Not going to lie. This is a damn good Charlotte team we've just ran into. To say I'm nervous for this one is an understatement. I feel like they're going to give us some problems here. So game one, we do win by 28. So maybe that's a good sign that this isn't a problem. I don't know, bro. Sometimes, okay, hold on. 3-2. Bro, sometimes Atlanta just be like that. Like, we've seen in the past, like, there was one point, I forgot what 2K it was, but Atlanta would just win the championship every season no matter what. Like, I don't know what it was about the roster, but they would just win it, bro. But now we get to beat this Hornets team, hopefully in 6, but it looks like we might be going to a game 7, unless we still have the way. No, we're going to a game 7, back to Atlanta. So we really need Trae Young to be better, because I did not see him at the top of the box score like we need him to be in closeout games like this. So game 7, is this Charlotte going to ruin our dreams? Yeah, I was a little nervous about this big 3, and Charlotte is giving us some issues, but we are down 3, so maybe we can jump in and watch. The game is close enough. We haven't done that in a little bit. I haven't been close to winning championships lately, but it looks like they may have our number unless we make it close here at the end. It's a 4-point game, so I guess we can watch the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds. It's year number 4. We're about to go into year 5, so like we need this. So let's see if we can win this game 7. All right. We're not going to play it out, of course. We usually let the CPU figure it out. All right. So, Trae Young not being out here is... how did that man foul? Did he foul out? Is that what I'm seeing right now? Box score. Trae Young, does he have 6 fouls? He has 31 points on the night. He has 5 fouls. Okay, we need to get him back in the game immediately. I don't know what we're doing, 2K. He just came off the... Okay, so Ingram's got the ball. Trae Young not being on here in crunch time is kind of weird, but that's how 2K rotations be. Ingram's going to take Mark Williams to the basket. He's going to get fouled. Okay. Surely we put Trae Young in here now at this dead ball, right? Brandon Ingram's going to make the first one. All right, Trae Young's coming in. Okay, so that's good. So it didn't take long, but he's back in the game. All right, so now we're going to... Okay, so 2-point game. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. Anybody's ball game. We're at home in front of these fans. Like, we got to give them... So Trae Young's guarding LaMelo Ball. I mean, Trae Young really can't guard anybody on this court right now anyway. We could put him on Mark Williams technically, but I don't know. So Brandon Ingram's guarding Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag is going to draw the foul, but at least he didn't get the end one. Maybe we get lucky he misses one. We'll see. And he's going to make the first one. All right. Probably going to make the second one and make this back to what the score was, and he is. So, yeah, he's going to make the second one. All right. Why did Cooper Flag have to get drafted to the East, bro? Like, I think I could have beaten Charlotte without if Cooper Flag wasn't on their team here, but... Trae Young is going to get a screen from Okongwu, and he is going to pass it to Ingram. Ingram kind of had Okongwu wide open, but Ingram's instead going to take a mid-ranger, and it's not going to go in. That's Ingram's game, though, so I guess I can't be too mad at him shooting that. But I would have loved to have seen him pass it to Okongwu for the wide open dunk, but he didn't. All right, so Brandon Miller is going to give it to Miles Bridges. Bridges is going to push Ingram off of him. And, okay, nice block from Okongwu. We needed that in the worst way possible. 1:33. We need a basket here. Ingram midi again. This time he is going to miss it. Wow, I thought he was going to make that. That was a good shot. I can't fault him for that one. Miles Bridges is taking this to the basket. I mean, Trae Young on him. This should be easy for him. No, he's going to pass it out to Mark Williams. Cooper Flag 3. That's probably all she wrote. Yep. Okay. Yeah, that sucked. 161-09. We're down 7. If we can't get a basket here, this game is over. I mean, this game is probably over already. But Ingram really not coming up clutch here. Really sucks. So Okongwu roll the basket. We're going to Ingram again. Another midi. Not going to make it. So that's going to be your ball game. We are going to lose in 7 in round 2 to the Charlotte Hornets. All right. Well, let's just watch one more possession, I guess, and see what we do. So Cooper Flag is going to... Wow, if he makes this, bro. No, he doesn't. Okay, I was about to say, I mean, Cooper Flag is just dancing all over us right now. Trae Young... is going to pass it to Ingram. Ingram is going to give it. Okay, he actually passed it to Okongwu this time. But it's, too late. Ingram is going to shoot a midi. And he makes that one. But, I mean, it's probably all but too late. 32 seconds left. I won't give up just yet. Maybe we can get a stop here. Although we're probably going to foul immediately, I imagine. Yeah, we're going to the foul game. I mean, this game is over. Let's not waste our time. This game is over. LaMelo Ball is not going to miss 2 free throws. Like, that's kind of what we need at this point. Yeah, so this game is over. Let's just get to year 5. Oklahoma City and Toronto and the Thunder go on to win the championship over the Raptors. Okay, so I have one more idea to end this video off with a banger and to make sure we do everything we can, because I just saw Brandon Ingram's performance and it was abysmal, man. Just too many mid-rangers that didn't go in. which is fine. You know, that's his shot or whatever, but you know, it's only one game. So should I overreact? Probably not. But I got to do something. If I can make it happen, I got to try for it, and that is what I'm going to do. So you probably know what I'm talking about, or maybe you don't. But I'm going to see if I can make it happen to end this off with the best possible chance to bring this team a championship. And the guy we are going for is going to be the Atlanta native. That is Jaylen Brown. So that is what we're going to try to do. Ingram from Jaylen Brown. We're going to do all that we can to try to end this video off with a championship. So I'm going to throw Kobe Buffkin in here. That's still not enough money. I will throw one of my young players, whether it's Dink or Bryson, in here. I'm going to go Dink to see if I can keep him in here. I'm going to try our 2030 first, our 2031 first, and then pretend this is a 2033 because obviously stepping rule does exist. Ingram, Kobe Buffkin, Dink, and 3 unprotected for Jaylen Brown. I don't even know if they're going to accept this. They don't agree. They're close to accepting it, but they're not there yet. Okay, maybe I have to throw 2 young players in here. Bryson being in here kind of sucks, but I mean, if we're getting Jaylen Brown, I mean, throw Jalen Smith in here. Not throwing Trae Young in here, of course. So, do we trade Jalen Smith? Do we trade one of the other guys? Maybe. So, if we're getting Jaylen Brown, he'll play small forward. You know, low-key, I don't know. Do we trade Jalen Johnson away to make this happen? No, because he's our starting power forward right now. As Ricochet is going to move to the bench. So, I guess we throw Bryson in here because we have Ricochet as the backup small forward. So, all right, what do you say to that? They do agree. All right, so we trade both the young players, but we get Jaylen Brown. I think that's the best way to try to make this video go out with a championship. So, yeah, I'm more than okay with that. So, Jaylen Brown, welcome to Atlanta. Let's go straight to player options. We're going to year 5. We bring the Atlanta native home, and we're going to just worry about filling out the rest of the roster with what we can. So, we're going to bring back Ricochet, of course. We're going to bring back, I mean, we could bring Nikola in, but if he comes back as qualifying arbiter, that's fine. But I'm going to focus. So we got our backup 5 still with Jalen Smith. So we got Pritchard. We got Daniels, Herb Jones. We pretty much have a full rotation other than maybe a power forward or a backup point guard. So who could that be? I mean, I think we should just bring back Nikola at this point. So we're bringing back Nikola. Then Foreign will be back. So we'll have a full rotation there. We don't have a backup point guard at the moment, but it's all good. So Jaylen Brown is the big addition for year 5. I think that was the right way to go about things. We've moved on. We've gone from Levine to Ingram to now Jaylen Brown. He's better than Trae Young, but those two duo should be fun. There's plenty of good role players here. We'll see how it goes, man. We're going to year 5. We're pulling out all the stops. We've done everything that we can to try to bring Atlanta a championship. We'll see what happens with Jaylen Brown joining the fold. Going to year 5. Let's look at the rotation. Maybe that pushes up to a 5-star proficiency. It doesn't. It's still only 4.5, but I'm more than happy with the roster. So it's Trae Young, Dyson Daniels, Jaylen Brown, Jalen Johnson, Okongwu, Herb Jones, Zach Ricochet, Jalen Smith, and Nikola. Let's run it. Let's see what happens, and let's see if we can bring Atlanta a championship in year 5 with Jaylen Brown and Trae Young as a duo. So here we are for this final season. No Trae Young MVPs or anything like that, but it does make it only be a second team, and Jaylen Brown doesn't make it with them or anything like that. But we are the first seed in the East, so that's feeling good there. You had 27 from Jaylen Brown, 26 from Trae Young, 12 from Okongwu, 11 from Zach Ricochet, 11 from Jalen Johnson, 11 from Nikola, and 11 from Jalen Smith. So here goes nothing. Final season here. Let's go ahead and see if we can go on a massive run to the finals. So we get Milwaukee, so let's make a run against them, and we are going to beat them in 4. So take care of them. I would love to see Charlotte in round 2, but we do get the Pacers, who have themselves a pretty good roster, but we'll click somebody like her around anyway, and we are going to be up 3-1, and we don't see Charlotte. We actually get to play the Toronto Raptors. All right, so Jamal Murray, who is Canadian, nice. We got, okay, so we got a bunch of, I knew RJ was on Toronto. I don't know why I'm surprised he's there. But yeah, Jamal Murray, RJ Barrett, Hugo, very good Toronto team, very, very good. Quickly, still your Hartenstein, and Vanderbilt. So yeah, this should be a tough series for sure, but we get San Antonio, New Orleans on the other side. Make her run against Toronto, and they're no match. They beat them in 5. Let's go, baby. Okay, so we have dominated the Eastern Conference, but now we're going to draw the San Antonio Spurs, who have, so Harrington wins Conference Finals MVP. Very interesting. But we get San Antonio, who has Noah. They have Ace Bailey, Victor Wembanyama, Ron Holland, Stephon Castle, Igor, Drake. So they've done great. And of course, this is the team that had our draft picks. So we're going to show them, just because you had our draft picks, doesn't matter. Okay, they even the series up, actually. Now they're up 2-1. They're up 3-1. All right, so we're about to end the video with making it to the finals, but it's going to come up short, isn't it? Maybe we come back. Who knows? Let's see what happens. So we are going to beat them 107-129. So that's good. So we win game 5, but now we got to win game 6. So let's see if we can do that. So game 6 in San Antonio to force a game 7 back to Atlanta. Can we do it? So we have the lead right now. Maybe we can... Oh, wait a minute. Can be close. And we are going to force a game 7 by 8. Going to game 7 in Atlanta to see if we can bring home a championship to end this video. Can I win a championship with a team other than the Thunder? It's looking good for me right now. I think we might have done it. Maybe. Oh, it's close, man. I don't know. We might blow this. Looking good. Nope. I don't think we did. I have won a championship with a team other than the Oklahoma City Thunder to end off the video. Trae Young is your Finals MVP. We get it done with the Atlanta Hawks. I will take it, man. We bring home the Atlanta native to end the video. Trae Young, Jaylen Brown, get it done. I end it there. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see y'all in the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.